It's your girl Arsharae, and I'm back with another video. As you can tell, I'm not in my usual setup because it's just so much noise, and I'm trying to make it as least noisy as possible. So hopefully you guys won't hear all the noise that's going on. It's usually quiet when I'm recording, so we'll see. Hopefully it works out. Okay, this is Love and Hip Hop, episode 6, one for the ages. So in this episode, Moniece, it starts out with Moniece at KK's house. KK asks Moniece about her relationship with Scrap, and she tells her that she's trying to show him that she's all in, and that she told her about the party that Tiara threw. KK was not happy about this. It seems like KK likes Moniece, and of course she was the one that introduced Scrap in Moniece, so it seems like she wants Scrap to be with Moniece. But at the end of the day, you can't make an adult do something that they don't want to do. So it just seems like to me Scrap is out and he just wants to be a free man. He really is not trying to tie it down with nobody. That's what it seems like. Scrap and his sister walk in, and she tells them about how Tiara attacked Tiara attacked Scrap at his welcome home party, and she was telling them how Moniece punched Scrap in the face, and he told her that that wasn't her business to tell. And KK is upset because she said any little thing could make Scrap go back, and that he doesn't need to be around her, and that she's going to deal with Tiara. And he tells her, no, you don't have to deal with Tiara. I'm going to deal with her myself. And I'm like, well, KK, maybe that's something you need to let him deal with. Let him figure it out. He's an adult. He's 30-something years old. He knows how to handle his business. So stay out of it. Mimi, Sierra, and Rashida meet up. And they talk about the Spice situation with her bleaching her, with her doing white face to say that she's trying to prove a point about black hypocrisy. Mimi said that her trip that she took her to the Mary McLeod Bethune museum, it backfired. It wasn't what she thought it was going to be. She thought she would get through the Spice, but she didn't, so it didn't work out the way that she thought that it would. Pooh says that she wants to crash Carly's engagement party. They tell her that that is not a good idea. She says that Carly is the one who released the story about sleeping with Pooh and her husband. Pooh says Carly released the story to the blogs. It wasn't her. They're telling her that she does not need to crash the engagement party because Carly is trying to change. Carly has changed. Carly's not the same person. She just needs to let bygones be bygones and leave it alone. Is she going to listen? Probably not, but we'll see. So obviously she still feels some type of way because Carly don't want to deal with her. Carly is at the doctor to start her IVF process, and the doctor tells her that if they retrieve eggs, and after they retrieve eggs, she could get, if she gets pregnant, not through IVF but naturally, it's a higher chance of a miscarriage because of her age. Her man Mo walks out to go do paperwork, and then she tells the doctor, hey, listen, I have a concern. I've had my cycle for a month now. And he tells her that, you know, this might be early signs of a miscarriage. And I'm just like, poor Carly. Like, she can't win for losing. She can't. She said that because they were going through the IVF process, they did not take precautions in using protection. So it is a possibility that she could be pregnant. In the next scene, Carly and Mo are looking at a venue for their engagement party. They meet the person that's showing them the venue introduces them to Shay Mack, and Carly's like, I know you. Don't I know you? And she was like, yeah, I'm Shay Mack. Back then I was ugly duckly, but now I'm a swan. And I was like, a little bit much, but okay. And Carly just was like, she knew her, but she didn't really know her. Carly did throw a little shade at Shay Mack, and Shay Mack is saying that Carly is acting like she doesn't know her, like, and that she's just acting like this whole new person, like they didn't have a friendship, and like this is the second person besides. So first was Pooh, and now Shay Mack saying that Carly was friends with them, and now she's acting like they were never friends. So we'll see how. Oh, and also Carly said that she didn't want other female rappers being played at her engagement party, and Shay Mack wasn't feeling that either. But we'll see, excuse me, how everything turns out at the engagement party, because obviously Shay Mack is still going to DJ at the engagement party. KK and Tiara meet up. They basically have this whole argument about how Tiara hit Scrap, and Tiara would basically tell her there's nothing she could do about it. She needs to stay out of it. It needs to be between her and Scrap. It has nothing to do with her. And KK basically said, I'm going to deal with you. I don't care how I have to deal with you, but I will deal with you because this is not okay. And Tiara is like, how? How are you going to deal with me, KK? And I'm like, KK, you should have just done what your son told you to do. You should have stayed out of it. This ain't had nothing to do with you. It was not your business. Your son asked you to stay out of it. He asked you to mind your business and let him deal with his business. And that's what you should have done. So see, Tiara is like, I'm not trying to hear it. She told KK she couldn't stop her from doing what she wanted to do. And she walked away from KK and left her standing there. um, Spice, Spice says that her Instagram video got a lot of attention. She says a lot of dark women have reached out to her and said how she inspires them. Um, Tokyo, um, Shakana and Tokyo also expressed how they felt treated differently, either maybe not the color of their skin, but how they looked. Shakana was saying like how she felt that she was targeted because she had short hair. Tokyo said she felt targeted because even though she's not dark, she had friends that were lighter than her, and she felt like the teacher treated those friends better than her because of the pigment of her skin. Um, they Tokyo asked Spice if she was still considering bleaching her skin, and she said that she may be still considering it. And of course, Shakana and Tokyo are not for it. They're not having it. She says that she still feels like she did not get her point all the way across, and she still wants to get her point across. She feels like taking this drastic measure and bleaching her skin will help her to get her point all the way across. I don't know why she thinks that, but that's what she thinks. Monique meets with Akbar. She's going on about how she's made all these changes and put her life on hold and away from her son to do a collaboration with Akbar, and Akbar is not taking it seriously. Akbar tells her that ever since she got her own place and she moved her son in, she's been having issues. She's been stressed out with her son. Her son has started stealing from her and selling the things that he stole from her at school. And also that he's just disrespectful to her. She didn't think it was going to be this way. And then she also said that sometimes because of the bullet fragments that she still has inside of her head, she cannot just get up and go sometimes. Sometimes she has to stay in the house. Now, I've never been shot in the head. I don't know how that feels, so I can't make that argument that she's lying or not. More than likely she's not, because that's a serious thing to be shot in the head and survive it. But as far as her son goes, even though as mothers we want the best for our kids, sometimes uprooting them from what they know and what they're used to can cause more damage than good. Sometimes you have to let your kids kind of stay where they are. I feel like she should have, like, even though that's her child, I know she should have maybe done weekends or a week here or a week there, not just totally moved him out of his environment, because we don't know how that makes him feel inside, what he's going through. Like, I'm not saying let your child control the situation. I'm just saying, like, you asked him did he want to move with you, but you didn't ask him, like, it wasn't really like you didn't think about the psychological effects that it would have on him. I'm not excusing his behavior. I'm just saying when children go through changes like living situations and things like that, you never know how it affects them. I know because I've been through it, and I'm still kind of going through it with my nephew. So I know because they kids just aren't the same when they're up. Akbar asked Moniece what's going on between her and Scrap, because she saw a video apparently of Scrap and Tommy tonguing each other down, and Moniece was like she hadn't talked to Scrap, she would rather talk to KK, and Akbar was like, no, I don't do that in-laws family stuff, because they're gonna always be for their family versus you, which is true. They gonna always have their family back, right, wrong, indifferent. They gonna have their family back no matter what. You are not family, they are. And so she just said that's why she never fully put her trust in a man, because of situations like this. And Scrap is wrong. He shouldn't have been misleading her. If he felt like he didn't want to fully commit to her, he should have said that. And so I do believe now that we see he's misled Moniece, he's probably misled Sierra as well. Shay Mack meets with Pooh, and they both feel like Carly Red has done them wrong in some way or another. So Pooh has apparently dug up some information on Carly, and she said that Shay Mack should divulge this information at Carly's engagement party since Pooh is not invited. Shay Mack has some reservations about doing it, but eventually she agrees to it, and I just don't think that's a good idea. I think that's messy. I think y'all too old to be playing these type of games. So I'm just like, they shouldn't do it, but you know, people gonna do what they want to do. Kendra and Jock are home. They're discussing the whole going to Carly's engagement party situation. Kendra is pushing the issue so much that Jock feels like that he needs to tell her, okay, let me be honest with you, there was some overlap when I first started dating you, and I was still having interactions with Carly, relations with Carly. So she was like, well, what do you mean by overlapping? I'm like, girl, come on, you're an attorney, you ain't that slow. And so basically he was messing with both y'all at the same time. And she was like, well, if that's dead, if that's over with, there should be no reason why we can't go to this engagement party. You should still take me to this engagement party and prove to me that nothing is going on between you and Carly. He realizes that she's an attorney. She don't talk circles around his ass. He's not going to win this argument, so he may as well take her to the party. And he agreed to take her to the party. So he didn't win this one. She won it. KK and Scrap meet up. She asked him what was up with him being with Tommy. She's basically trying to get him to see the situations that he's putting himself in. They are not good situations, and he could end up losing his freedom because of the situations that he's putting himself in, like the whole Tiara situation. She said if he would even got a scratch on him or bruise or anything, he could have ended up back in jail. With Tommy, your mama can't come get you from jail. Tommy has obviously been indicted for some things, and she has a criminal record, so why would you want to be caught up with her where it could possibly send you back to jail? That I agree with his mom. He's not being smart. He's not making smart decisions. He's about to mess up his whole freedom. He tells her that she needs to mind her own business. She asked her about the Moniece situation. She told him that he needs to chill out on everybody else and fix it with Moniece. He says that Moniece should have understood that they're not exclusive, and KK said that that's not the understanding that Moniece has, that Moniece really has feelings for him, but Scrap is not feeling it. He was relieved when his brothers showed up, and he told them, listen, I'm not feeling this halfway house thing. I'm not going back. And they looking at him like, have you lost your mind? You gotta go back. If you don't go back, you're going to jail. And then he's like, oh, I'm not going back because I'm a free man. I'm like, okay, we glad you're free, but that was lame. You could have just told them people from the beginning. KK was kind of in her feelings about that because she wasn't the first one to know that he was free, and he's on, well, he's not really free, he's on parole, but he's not have to go back to the halfway house. KK tells him that he still needs to be careful, and I agree with KK. Yes, she needs to mind her business when it comes to his relationships, but as far as being around people that could make your ass go back to jail, you need to listen to your mama. um we're at Cardi's engagement party, and Mimi is like, y'all, is that Shay Mack? That looks like Shay Mack. Do y'all remember Shay Mack? And everybody else like, no. Do you remember Shay Mack? You know, Stevie J and all his little rapper chicks or whatever. I just thought that was funny. They meet, the gang finally meets Cardi's man, and they click instantly. Mimi says that she hopes that he's good for her and that it lasts. Jock and his new girlfriend walk up to Carly and her man. They kind of try to get their partners to understand that there's nothing going on between Carly and Jock anymore. But I think they took it a little too far. I think Carly took it a little too far when saying that they're like family, they're like sisters and brothers. So you're saying, Carly, that you slept with your brother? So he was, and when they walked out, when Jock and his girlfriend Kendra walked off, he was like, I don't know about no sister and brother. You took it a little bit too far. And I was like, yeah. She took it a little bit too far. Spice arrives. Rashida tells her that she looks good in her own skin. They ask if she's still considering bleaching her skin, and Tokyo totally shuts it down. She was like, oh, I was gonna say we're not answering any questions about that tonight, man, or something like that. She said, try to talk in her little Jamaican voice. I tried. I ain't good at it. So they started laughing and they let it go. Carly gets up to give her speech. It was a lovely speech, and I'm happy for Carly. But then my hands are clenching because I know within the next couple of seconds it's all about to be ruined. And Shay Mack gives her announcement, and obviously the information that Pooh had about Carly is that Carly is really 45 years old. And I'm like, who cares? If she's 45, she look damn good for 45. So why do y'all care? Why? Like, do you have that much jealousy for a person that you want to ruin one of the most important nights of their lives because you mad because you didn't get invited, or you mad because you're not friends with that person anymore? Like, how messed up, how self-centered, how conceited are you? But it is what it is. Females are messy, females are catty. That's why I be chilling by myself, because I ain't got time for it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I love each and every one of you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.